Welcome to the Nurse Corps Scholarship Program's Transition to Service presentation. For those of you who recently graduated, congratulations on completing your nursing degree program. For those of you with upcoming graduations, you are almost there. Good luck with your final coursework. As a Nurse Corps scholar, you play an integral role in our mission to improve the health of underserved and vulnerable populations. During this presentation, the Nurse Corps Monitoring and Transition Team, Monica Tia Bullock, Shivani Purvis, and Emily Carlisle Agarwal will provide an overview of your transition to service goals, steps to success, and key details related to site eligibility as you begin your employment search. We will also share various requirements for the in-service phase of your Nurse Corps scholarship journey. Lastly, we will have demonstrations of HRSA's helpful employment search tool and how to look up HPSA scores by address. Once you've graduated, your overall goals are to obtain a nursing license and start your Nurse Corps service within 9 months. What are the steps to success? Firstly, you'll work to study and pass the corresponding exam for your discipline. For example, NCLEX for RNs. You must take your licensing exam within 9 months of your graduation. Meanwhile, you can actively search open opportunities at active eligible critical shortage facilities with the appropriate health professional shortage area score. To help you in your search, Nurse Corps Scholarship has transitioned to service web pages to explore. In addition, you are strongly encouraged to create a personalized profile on the Health Workforce Connector, HRSA's employment search tool. This profile will help you connect with sites and open opportunities. We will provide a connector demonstration at the end of the presentation. Lastly, shortly before graduation, you will be assigned an employment assistance analyst to assist with your job search. Throughout your job search, keep your analyst informed of all scheduled interviews to be certain you are interviewing at an eligible critical shortage facility. Your Nurse Corps job search is like any other search for employment. You are responsible for finding a position at an eligible Nurse Corps site, and your employment support analyst is here to help along the way. When completing your Nurse Corps service commitment, you are an employee of the site and paid just like any other employee. As you begin your job search, you need to know what makes a site eligible for Nurse Corps service. There are 3 criteria your job and site must meet. 1, the job must be a qualifying critical shortage facility site type. 2, the site must have a qualifying health professional shortage area, or also known as HPSA score, or known as HPSA, the score, and the site must have a willing site point of contact. The first eligibility criterion is site type. Here is a list of eligible critical shortage facility types. You can give yourself a few seconds to read through it. As you can see, there are a wide variety of facility types to choose from when pursuing employment opportunities. You can find the complete list along with site type definitions in the Nurse Corps Scholarship Program's application and program guidance. There is a short list of ineligible facility site types and employment statuses. These include clinics and prisons, correctional facilities, as well as nursing, as well as nurse staffing and travel agencies. Nurses will not receive service credit if you are pro rata neta or as needed basis as a staffing agency or other facility. The second eligibility criterion is the HPSA requirement. You may wonder, what is a HPSA? HPSA stands for Health Professional Shortage Area. There are 3 separate designations for health professional shortage areas. Nurse Corps only uses 2, which is primary care and mental health. Nurse Corps does not use the dental health HPSA. A HPSA score is used to determine priority for assignment of healthcare professionals to shortage areas. Scores range from 0 to 25 for primary care and mental health. The higher the score, the greater shortage of health professionals for that specific area. You are required to serve at a site with a mental health or primary care HPSA score of 14 or higher. As a Nurse Corps scholar, your commitment to service in an underserved area helps improve health outcomes and achieve health equity across our nation. The HPSA score ensures you are serving a community in need. From here on out in the presentation, we will refer to health professional shortage area scores as HPSAs. The third and final eligibility criterion is a willing site point of contact. Your site of interest must have an active point of contact, or also known as POC in MyBHW. The POC can be a human resources staff person or your nursing supervisor. In other words, anyone authorized by the site to verify your employment. After creating an account in MyBHW, the POC must be willing to verify employment using their MyBHW account. If your site of interest is an eligible site type and has a qualifying HPSA score, but does not have an active POC in MyBHW, it is your responsibility to find a willing point of contact. Your employment support analyst will confirm site eligibility once these criteria are met. It's question time, ladies and gentlemen. Here is our first question. What type of HPSA designation and score requirement does an eligible critical shortage facility need to have for you to be able to accept employment? Is it A, primary care HPSA of 14 above? Is it B, mental health HPSA of 14 and above? Is it C, both A and B? Or is it D, either A or B? For all of those that answered for D, this is correct. For those of you who picked C, you were close, but both do not have to be 14. It is either a primary care or mental health HPSA score that must be 14 or higher. This HPSA flexibility allows for more sites that will be eligible for you.
Shortly before graduation, you will receive a message through My BHW from your assigned employment assistance analyst. Some of you may have already been assigned an analyst, and others will be contacted soon. Here's a screenshot of the My BHW landing page's My Activities section. It is the inquiry hyperlinked text in the My Activities section that you should select to communicate directly with your employment support analyst. It is important to note that you must reply to the original open inquiry from your employment assistance analyst each time you send a message. Here's another screenshot from My BHW. After you select the employment assistance inquiry hyperlink, scroll to the bottom of that communication trail. Here, you'll see a message that says, have additional supporting documents, questions, comments, or corrections for this request. Select the Contact Us hyperlinked text to send a direct message to your employment assistance analyst. By using this method, you will receive a timely response from your employment support analyst. If you send a question through the Ask a Question button, your message will not route directly to your employment assistance analyst and will take longer to receive a response. As you are working with your employment support analyst, you must keep them informed of the following. When you take your discipline-specific exam, for example, NCLEX for RNs, your top 3 states in which you'd like to perform your nurse corps service, please be aware that you may need to relocate to find employment. For example, states like New Jersey have limited eligible sites, and scholars in New Jersey may need to relocate or be open to a commute. Delays in passing your professional examinations, delays in becoming fully licensed, sites of interest. Make sure to confirm that your analyst is with your analyst the eligibility of your sites at which you're interviewing, and incoming interviews and job offers. Now we'll discuss the required employment documents. After you obtain your license and offer of employment, you must upload these documents to your My BHW account. Your RN or APRN license must include your name, license number, issuance, and expiration dates, and be from the state in which you have a job offer. The second required document is the confirmation of employment offer form. The form must show a start date within 9 months of graduation, the discipline and specialty for which you were awarded, that you were working at least 80% of your time providing direct patient care, and that you're working a minimum of 16 or more hours per week. This slide contains helpful screenshots to show you where you can upload these required documents. To upload documents, go to your My BHW account homepage, select Site Search, which you will find under the My Activities section. The site search will be under either the Open Activities list or the Completed Activities list, even if you've not completed it. Most of the documents types you see under Site Search are not required. For instance, there is no need to upload your NCLEX or board scores because your license proves you've passed. The Employment Information Release form, which is crossed out in the screenshot, is no longer required. The 2 documents you must upload are your license and your confirmation of employment offer form. We hope everyone has success with taking their licensing exam. However, if you have not obtained your license within 9 months of your graduation date, use the Ask Your Question button to request a licensure suspension via My BHW prior to the 9-month employment deadline. Your licensure suspension request must include a failed exam result, and proof of registration to retake the exam. If you have not taken the exam within 9 months of graduation, you will not be granted a licensure suspension. Taking the exam in a timely manner is a key responsibility of all scholars. Here's our next poll question. How much time do you have after graduation to obtain your RN or APRN license and start employment? A, 6 months, B, 9 months, C, 10 months, and D, 12 months. For those of you who've selected 9 months, you are correct. You have 9 months post-graduation to start your service commitment after obtaining your license. We encourage RNs and APRNs to seek out additional training prior to the beginning of their nurse corps service. Research shows post-graduation residencies improve nurses' clinical and communication skills, builds confidence in new nurses, and increases retention rates. RNs and APRNs are encouraged to request a deferment or postponement of their service obligation to complete a post-graduation training approved by Nurse Corps. Please visit our post-graduation training webpage for more information. To be eligible to defer your service, a post-graduation training must be an accredited program, consistent with the discipline and specialty for which your scholarship was awarded, starts no later than 6 months after graduation, and does not exceed 18 months in length. As a reminder, Nurse Corps service must start within 3 months of training completion. If you're interested in completing a post-graduation training, you will need to use these links to determine if the residency of interest is accredited by either the Commission on Collegiate Nursing Education or the American Nurses Credentialing Center. We also permit post-graduation trainings at sites that were awarded funds by HRSA's Advanced Nursing Education Nurse Practitioner Residency Fellowship Program. To fulfill your service obligation, you will have the option to work full-time, at least 32 hours per week, or part-time, which is defined as between 16 and 31 hours per week. These flexibilities are great for scholars who need the option to fulfill their service commitment on a part-time basis due to their other responsibilities. As a participant, you must spend at least 80% of your work time providing direct patient care to maintain compliance with the program.
Now we will preview requirements for the in-service phase of your Nurse Corps scholarship journey, which starts once your status in MyBHW updates to in-service. You all are very familiar with the process of completing ISVs while in school. And guess what? The fun does not stop once you graduate. Now, ISVs no longer refer to in-school verification, but rather in-service verification. After you begin employment at your site, you will be required to complete in-service verifications, or ISVs, every 6 months. The in-service verification tracks your compliance with the Nurse Corps service requirements. In-service verifications confirm your work attendance and the amount of time you missed during the verification period. You will receive a message from MyBHW notifying you when your ISV is complete. This leads to the question, how much time am I allowed to take off from work? You are required to serve a minimum of 45 weeks per service year. This means that you are allowed to be on leave for no more than 7 weeks per service year, regardless of how many days per week you served. While we encourage scholars to remain at the Nurse Corps site where they began employment, transfers are allowed. Transfer requests should be submitted before you leave your current site. So it's important that you keep Nurse Corps abreast of your transfer plans. To request a transfer, you must complete a Change My Service Location Details or Hours request by selecting the purple icon on your MyBHW homepage. What is a suspension? Put simply, it is a temporary pause in your service obligation. There are 3 types of suspension requests: medical or personal hardship, parental leave, and call to active duty. If any of the above situations apply to you, you must request a suspension in advance through your MyBHW account. You'll be required to provide supporting documentation for each request. If your suspension is approved, it may extend your service obligation if your leave count exceeds 7 weeks per service year. You have successfully completed your nursing degree, or you're almost there if your graduation is upcoming, and you are about to embark on a new season of life. We are excited for you and committed to your success as you dedicate the next few years of your life to providing quality healthcare to communities in need. Our hope is that the information on this slide will never pertain to anyone in our program, but it is important that we explain what happens if you are found in breach of your contract. The Nurse Corps defines default as a failure to begin or complete your service obligation as specified in your Nurse Corps Scholarship Program contract. If you are recommended for default, you will be required to pay back all the money paid to you or on your behalf, plus interest, within 3 years. We know that was a lot of information to consume in a short amount of time. So to bring you back to the big picture, your 2 main goals are to obtain a nursing license and start your Nurse Corps service within 9 months of graduation. Some key steps to success: make sure you pass your exam within 9 months of your graduation date. Apply to positions at approved eligible critical shortage facilities with a mental health or primary care HPSA score 14 or higher. Use our transition to service web pages to provide information about how to go through this process. Create a profile on the Health Workforce Connector, and make sure you are in close communication with your analyst, informing them of all scheduled interviews and job offers. Now we will move to the demonstration portion of this presentation. I will demonstrate a sample job search and site lookup in the Health Workforce Connector and explain how you can look up HPSA scores. The Health Workforce Connector is a helpful tool that enables Nurse Corps participants to search and locate both healthcare sites and job opportunities. Let's begin a sample search for eligible healthcare sites. First, navigate to the Health Workforce Connector at connector.hrsa.gov. As you scroll down the page, a link to create a personalized profile allows scholars to connect and communicate with sites of interest. At the top of the homepage, select Go to Advanced Search. On the side menu, there are 2 search fields where you can either input a keyword name or job title or a location. Let's say you're interested in working in the Mississippi Delta region, one of the most impoverished rural areas in our country with some of the poorest health outcomes. You know one of the cities in the Delta region is Cleveland, Mississippi. So in the location field, you input Cleveland zip code 38732. The page includes ways to further refine your search. One way is by distance. We'll select a 50-mile radius. There are also many different site types to filter by, but you're flexible in the type of facility you want to work at, so you keep this search field blank. A search filter you must use to narrow your search is the HPSA score field. Remember, you must work at a site with a mental health or primary care HPSA score of 14 or higher. You should conduct 2 separate searches by HPSA score, one for sites with a primary care score of 14 to 25 and a separate search for mental health score of 14 to 25. Separate searches may yield more results. For this example, let's search for a site with a primary care HPSA score of 14 to 25. Then select the blue Site Search button. In the search results, you see one job opportunity and 118 sites in your search location. Let's select the gray Sites tab to see where you can work. As you scroll down, you spot a site of interest. The site is named Bolivar Medical Center. To learn about this site, you select the site's blue hyperlink name to display its site page. At the top of the site page, you find the address, phone number, and website. You can use this blue Connect with Site button once you create your connector profile. As you scroll down, you find more details such as site points of contact. As you can see on the right of the page, the site has an eligible primary care HPSA score of 23. In the top right-hand corner of this site page, you see that there are 0 job opportunities posted in the connector, but the site is still eligible and could be posting job opportunities elsewhere. To investigate further, you select the link to their website. And on the top of the website, it says Search Careers. So as you are perusing the career opportunities, you see that there are multiple registered nurse openings at Bolivar Medical Center, even after filtering out the PRN or pro rata RN positions, which are ineligible for service. So after applying for these eligible RN positions, if you are contacted for an interview, reach out to your employment support analyst to have them verify the site eligibility for your nurse corps service. Now, I'll demonstrate how to look up a HPSA by address. Let's begin a sample search. Say you're interested in a rural site in the state of Maine because you've always wanted to work in a rural underserved setting and hope to work with older adults. During your job search, you find that Presque Isle Rehab and Nursing Center is looking for registered nurses, but you don't know if this site is eligible. We'll navigate to the HPSA Find by Address site, and using the search box on the page, you will enter the site address, 162 Academy Street, and the zip code is 04769. The city and state fields are not required when you search by zip code. Your search will produce HPSA scores for the Presque Isle Rehab and Nursing Center address. You can see by scrolling down on this page that it qualifies as a site where you can work based on its mental health HPSA score of 15. This address does not have a primary care HPSA score, but you only need one score, either mental health or primary care, to be 14 or higher for your nurse corps service. Now that you know the nursing home has an eligible HPSA score, you can apply for positions at this site. As a reminder, if you are contacted for a job interview, reach out to your employment support analyst to verify the site's eligibility. This particular site has a HPSA score with a status of proposed for withdrawal. This is important to note because sometimes HPSA scores change. If the HPSA score is withdrawn before you are offered an interview and lock in the HPSA score with your analyst, then the site will no longer be eligible. This concludes our presentation. Our analysts look forward to supporting you in your transition to service, and we applaud your commitment to building healthier communities throughout our country. Feel free to connect with Nurse Corps on Facebook and LinkedIn. We encourage you to follow along and share our content on these platforms, and visit our YouTube page at HRSATube to learn more. Additionally, we also encourage you to sign up for HRSA's e-news, a biweekly email of comprehensive HRSA news, and to sign up for the HRSA press releases. You can also visit our website, www.hrsa.gov, for more detailed information about all of our programs.